Hello everyone, it's me yet again, and I thought it would be interesting to look at all of these perks and see how the killer gameplay is gonna look like after the PTB goes live. Let's take into account, let's just accept that these changes are gonna go in. For the sake of the video, we're gonna accept that Pain Res is gonna get nerfed, Colubrine Overcharge are getting nerfed, and this is what the killers are left with. They're left with Corrupt, oh shit, sorry, Corrupt, Deadlock, Jolt, No Way Out, Deadman's in Pain Res, so Pain Res is out of the question. Deadman's is out of the question almost. Eruption is pretty decent. So we are and Pop, obviously Ruin. So yeah, we're gonna go over each perk and we're gonna see how it's easily countered. The hardest one to counter is Corrupt, and obviously it does something every single time, and that is block 3 generators at the beginning of the trial, and it forces survivors to come to you so you can get quicker chases and better chases, and hope that you don't have a busted map that they can use and utilize and kick your ass with. So, Corrupt, how is that going to work? Corrupt is not going to be that good, but it's still going to do its job pretty decently, half decent. I think it's the best out of the bunch. If we look at Deadlock and Corrupt, I think they give you the most value out of these perks here. So, Corrupt and Deadlock, we're 100% going to see. And Corrupt is going to be easily countered by survivors if Killer gets value and in those 2 minutes, or if survivors just split up on gens as the killer chases the other person that chases them into the corrupted area. And if the killer decides to leave chase in those 30 to 40, 50 seconds ish of the match starting and go for a different person, well, if he got an injury, then he has to leave, or then he has to leave that person. And if that person has a medkit, then they can heal themselves. So, corrupt can be countered by the person being chased going into the corrupted area so the other people can do gens in the meantime. And that is an issue, but it is a counter, so it's a counter. So we're gonna count that as corrupt being mediocre, but still doing its job a bit. Deadlock is the next perk, and Deadlock is decent. It can stop people from absolutely slamming gens, but still, ultimately, does it make you clutch sometimes? Does it not make you clutch most of the time? Yeah. Most of the time, it just provides you with a 30-second slowdown, but what can survivors do in a 3-gen situation? Let's say they have a gen 80% and it gets deadlocked in there, and one gen they can just hop on the other, get like 30 seconds of progress, or until they get to the gen, like 15 to 20 seconds of progress, and every second counts for Survivor. And yeah, overall, Deadlock is a decent perk. But I think we'll see it a lot, but I don't think it'll provide much value, as I said earlier. Next up, we got Jolt. Jolt is a mid perk. I never liked it that much. Sometimes in certain maps it can provide you with some sort of value, but 8% is just meaningless, especially if there are more than if there's more than one survivor. It's not gonna mean anything almost all the time. So yeah, we're scrapping Jolt. Jolt is out of the question. Next up is No Way Out, and I think we'll see this perk the most. No Way Out is an endgame perk, and since survivors are easily now gonna slam gens better than before, with all these perks getting nerfed, then we're gonna see a lot of No Way Outs. And if the killer manages to get 4 hooks on 4 different survivors, which does not help him, by the way, in the grand scheme of things, then he'll have 4 stacks of No Way Out, which is 60 seconds of slowdown on gates. Pretty okay. Just an okay perk. Sometimes will help. Next up, we got Plaything and Pentimento, and after testing this combination for countless and countless and countless matches, I've gone up against really good survivors that know how to counter Pentimento. Um, because you shouldn't wait, and because gens will take so little time to finish, even after the nerfs, especially to the gen regression perks, since it takes so little time for survivors, then what Pentimento is going to do is you're probably going to have a hook or two, so that's 2 Pentimentos, but that's 2 playthings, which means if people call it out, they're probably going to be like, okay, I'm going to check for Pentimento if they're on a Swift, and they're going to see that there is Pentimento, and as soon as they see that, the first thing they're going to do is go back to the totem, cleanse it in 14 seconds, and boom, the effect is gone. So, in overall, Pentimento and Plaything is very easily countered. It can provide you with some sort of value. That is, if the survivors are stupid and don't go back to the totems. But overall, I don't think this combo is gonna help killers at all. Next up, we got Colubrine Eruption Overcharge. This has been completely killed, but we are gonna count in um we're gonna count in Eruption only because Eruption is still a decent perk, and if you pair it up with Nowhere to Hide, you can actually get some pretty cool plays. And overall, I like the perk now. Now, the issue here, it's only 10%. So, yes, it makes Survivor scream. It shows you their aura if they obviously don't dodge the eruption or are on the gen while the survivor got downed. So that is pretty decent, but it's only 10%. In the grand scheme of things, what you could have done before was you could have set up Colubrine Eruption Overcharge Pain Res as your perks, and then go into a match, kick a gen, regress it while the survivor is working on it. Eventually, you're gonna down the survivor, hopefully. And as you down the survivor, the gen explodes, incapacitates them, and regresses it even more. That is the thing that matters. Eruption got buffed for a couple months, and as you screamed, it was also for pain res as well. As you screamed, um, while you were incapacitated, it kept regressing. Before it didn't do that, as especially for pain res as well. So these perks getting nerfed is sad, and it was a good combo pairing it up with Pain Res because you could additionally slow it down in case the gen was about to get done. And yeah, Eruption, you might see it most of the time, no, so you'll leave it with that not being there. And next up, we got Deadman's and Pain Res, and dead combo. Like, I don't need to explain it. Deadman's is still a decent perk. Painter's got fucked in the ass so hard that it screamed and died, combusted, exploded, morphed into an atom, imploded, made a fucking nuclear weapon out of itself, exploded on the developers, but the developers had a fucking bunker and countered it. So, anyway, Painter's got shit on. What else can I say? Painter's is dead now. The one of the most fair killer perks that also provides a decent amount of slowdown is now dead. So yeah, you can't pair it up with anything else. You can't pair it up with the gen kick perks. You can't pair it up with shit. Ruin, pop, just nothing. Um, so with that, Deadman's is out of the question as well, even though it is a decent slowdown perk, but overall you want to kick the gen, or at least before you wanted to kick the gen. Now you don't even get anything for kicking a gen, so yeah, I don't know. I don't think we'll see Deadman's at all anymore, or Pop, or sorry, not Pop, Pain Res. Next up, we got Ruin, and as you can see, I put LMFAO because this perk sucks fucking titties. This perk is shit. I don't know what the hell they thought, but yeah, they were like, you know what, Ruin Undying, even though it's a perk that can be fucking countered, we'll just make it so you don't have to deal with it anymore. So they decided to nerf it. And then they decided to nerf Pop as well. So Ruin, we will not see, and then Pop is just shit we won't see. Sometimes it can give you value, most of the time no. So you're left with Corrupt, Deadlock, No Way Out. Deadlock is not going to provide you much value. Corrupt can be countered by simply downing a survivor, which is one hook out of 12. It is not valuable, so you're left with No Way Out. This is going to kill killers. Like, I don't know what to tell you. I am so done. I don't know what the hell we're supposed to use now. Literally no gen slowdown in a meta where prove thyself is a thing with toolboxes, with good medkits, toolboxes, busted maps, busted tiles. Like how the hell killers are supposed to keep up, I have no idea. I have no fucking idea. All I know is in the end, eventually, unless they revert some of these changes and bring back old Pop and bring back old Ruin and bring back Pain Res, unless they make these changes, killers are going to start leaving, and once they leave, the game's going to die. You're going to have newbie killers that are going to get paired up with good survivors. They're going to leave the game as well, and eventually you're going to kill the game. People keep saying how survivors are gonna suffer. Just simply untrue. Autodidact is a perk that counters it, as I talked in the previous video. Autodidact completely counters the healing, and also Autodidact is a better perk now that healing takes longer. So, yeah, I don't know. It is stupid that almost every single time there is an update that is very heavy, the survivors barely get nerfed or get nerfed to the point that they can actually see some changes, but then they find a perk that counters it or they find something that counters it. Like, I don't understand. I don't understand what they're thinking. We're only left with no way out. Why? Remember me. You know what? You know what? Remember me, no way out. Yeah. Blood endgame perks, no ed. Like, what are you gonna use? Are you gonna use Enduring Spirit Fury as a fucking pig and get your ass gen rushed? Like, what are you supposed to do as killer? Let me just go and use pop on a 50% gen. Oh, that's 10%. Lovely, dude. Alright, technically, I know it's like 12 and a half because of the 2.5%, but bruh, just bruh. Jesus Christ, man. I'm sick of this, man. I'm genuinely sick of this. I came here to rant a bit. First of all, my back's been hurting the whole fucking day, and I thought recording a video would be better, but hey. Overall, Plaything Pentimento is easily counterable, even when it provides you with some sort of slowdown. It's not enough most of the time. Uh, we talked about the other perks, and they kind of suck ass. So wonderful. It's so wonderful playing Killer, man. It's so beautiful. I love going into every match, just going up against the best fucking items, the best perks every single fucking time. Like it is so wonderful. I love this game. Behavior. Um, I know I sounded pissed throughout this video, but behavior, fix your game and make it more enjoyable. Does it? You know what? If they fixed maps, that would be it. Like I wouldn't, I wouldn't mind that much. I would still complain about certain perks, but I wouldn't be making a video about me complaining about what the hell killers are gonna do. Like, revert some changes or make some other perk do something else and make that perk meta and make it viable in gen regression. It is very boring running gen regression as killer, but it is you cannot not run gen regression as in the higher ranks. You cannot. It's you're gonna lose. You're gonna lose. It doesn't matter. Like every single second survivors gain from you missing something as killer is another second on gens. And if they perfectly split up, they don't even have to perfectly split up. If they split up so they efficiently do gens, you're fucked, and that is it. That is the video. If you like, I don't know. That's it. I've got nothing else to say.